I could be merciful.
The movie begins with a boy named Jack, who is staying at his uncle's house during Christmas celebrations. One day, Jack secretly steals a key from his uncle and opens one of the locked rooms in front of his friends. Inside, the room is filled with Christmas presents. Jack smugly tells his friends that Santa Claus isn't real and that all the gifts are actually bought by parents. At that moment, Jack's friends hand him candy, revealing that Jack had made a bet with them to prove Santa wasn't real, and he just won. Soon after, Jack's uncle enters the room and orders all the children to leave, except Jack. He scolds Jack for ruining the magic of Christmas and insists that believing in Santa brings joy and happiness to children. But Jack refuses to believe, arguing that Santa is nothing more than a myth and does not go around delivering gifts. His uncle warns him that Santa never gives presents to naughty children, but Jack doesn't care and stubbornly sticks to his disbelief. 30 years later, Jack has grown into a bitter man. While walking down the street, he steals a woman's cup of coffee and snatches a newspaper from a passerby. It is revealed that Jack has become a con artist and a skilled hacker, working for anyone willing to pay him. Jack is soon shown executing a mission. Outside a major technology company, he observes the employees exercising under the watchful eye of the company's owner. Jack focuses on one worker, then tosses the newspaper near some electrical cables and pours the stolen coffee on them, causing a short circuit that sparks a fire. As chaos breaks out and people rush to safety, Jack seizes the opportunity to pick up the employee's ID card. Using it, he sneaks inside the company, plugs an encryption device into their system, and downloads sensitive data. Once the job is complete, he tosses the ID card into a trash can and walks away with pride. That same night, the real Santa Claus is at a shopping mall celebrating Christmas with children. He is accompanied by his loyal bodyguard, Cal, who has grown weary of adults' bad behavior as he constantly sees them stealing and fighting in the mall. A group of children approaches Santa and gives him candy, which makes him smile warmly. Later, as Santa prepares to leave, Cal coordinates with the other guards to ensure his safety. In the car, Santa tells Cal that he will miss him, revealing that Cal is planning to retire. Santa is then transported to a secret location where his enormous reindeer are kept. He boards his magical sleigh and takes off into the night sky, escorted by military fighter jets for protection. With a joyful cheer, Santa commands the reindeer to fly faster, breaking through Earth's atmosphere. Meanwhile, Jack reviews the stolen data at home. The files contain coordinates to Santa's mythical realm. Jack isn't interested in keeping the information for himself. He forwards it to his client, who instantly transfers the agreed payment into Jack's account. Inside Santa's realm, Santa opens a cosmic portal and enters his hidden world, where alien-like creatures are busy preparing gifts for Christmas. Mrs. Claus helps with the work, while a massive armored bear named Garcia, Cal's assistant, keeps the realm secure. Later, Santa trains in his private chamber. Cal enters to deliver his resignation, but Santa tries to convince him to stay. Cal explains that while he loves children, adults have become an endless source of frustration. He reveals that the naughty list grows by 22% each year, meaning the world is filling with troublemakers, leaving little room for joy. Santa insists this is even more reason to continue their mission, but Cal firmly refuses, declaring that this Christmas will be his final one. Santa shakes his hand, saddened, and tells him the mission will never be the same without him. Meanwhile, in the Arctic, a mysterious group of intruders arrives at an invisible barrier. Their leader confirms they found the wall and orders them to begin breaching it. Back in Santa's realm, Cal notices unusual activity during a security check. When he rushes to Santa's chamber, he finds the balcony doors open and Santa gone. Outside, he spots a car speeding away. Cal immediately sounds the alarm and pursues the vehicle, but when he catches up, he discovers the car is empty. Overhead, a plane roars into the sky. Santa has been kidnapped. Cal quickly returns to the control center and contacts Zoe, the head of a global organization that monitors mythical creatures. She's shocked by the news and tells Cal that at the same time Santa was abducted, hackers infiltrated the Arctic surveillance system. She identifies the culprit, Jack, a notorious mercenary hacker wanted worldwide for countless crimes. Realizing the stakes, Cal and Zoe agree to team up and track him down. The next day, Jack wakes up to a phone call from his ex-wife. She asks him to pick up their son Dylan from school since she is busy and her husband is out of town. She also warns Jack that Dylan has been having trouble at school and needs his father's support. Jack reluctantly agrees. On the way home, Dylan explains what happened. A classmate has been bullying him repeatedly. In retaliation, Dylan hacked into the school system and marked the boy absent 3 times, but the school administrators discovered it and punished Dylan. Afterward, Dylan damaged the boy's bicycle in anger. At that moment, Jack advises Dylan that if he hacks any system, he should never leave evidence behind. Later, Dylan tells Jack about a school party where he will be performing on guitar, and he asks Jack to attend. But Jack dismisses him, saying he's too busy. Disappointed, Dylan gets out of the car, while Jack simply drives away, showing no concern. When Jack arrives home, he is suddenly ambushed by a group of armed soldiers sent to capture him. They storm his house using strange devices that can immobilize anyone in an instant. Jack, however, skillfully fights back, managing to defeat them. He leaps out of his window, jumps onto a neighboring rooftop, and escapes to the street. Just as he thinks he's safe, Zoe appears, aiming one of the same stunning devices at him. She fires, knocking him unconscious. When Jack wakes up, he finds himself face to face with Zoe. She accuses him of hacking the Crossbar earthquake system and demands to know who hired him. Jack claims that all of his communications are encrypted, so he has no idea who the client really was. Zoe sees through his lie and orders her men to lock him inside a container. Jack is then transported to the organization's secret headquarters. There, the soldiers release him. Zoe explains that her organization's purpose is to protect the mythical world and keep it hidden from humanity. Jack mocks her words until he witnesses a fire-breathing horse and a headless creature being carried inside a box. Terrified, Jack finally realizes Zoe is telling the truth. Zoe takes him to a private room to talk. She explains that Santa Claus has been kidnapped, but Jack still refuses to believe or care. At that moment, Cal enters, furious. He calls for Garcia, the massive armored bear, to torture Jack until he confesses. Seeing Garcia, Jack is horrified. Cal reveals that Jack's name is written on the naughty list, which is why he is of great concern to them. Garcia grabs Jack, squeezing him so hard he threatens to break his ribs. Jack screams in pain and finally agrees to cooperate. Cal signals Garcia to release him. Jack confesses that he doesn't know the client's true identity, but he can lead them to the intermediary who hired him. They attach a tracking device to his leg to prevent escape. Elsewhere underground, Santa regains consciousness in a cell. A mysterious young woman stands before him. She tells him she will accomplish in one day what others couldn't in years. She declares her plan, to punish the naughty and purge them from the world, leaving only the good behind. Then she activates a device that drains Santa's magical power, causing him to collapse. Back with Cal and Jack, the two arrive at a toy store, where Cal selects several toys. They pass through a magical portal that transports them elsewhere. Cal places a toy car on the ground, activates a device, and the toy transforms into a real car. He and Jack climb in and set off to meet the intermediary. On the way, Jack asks about Cal's work. Cal explains that he is the leader of the organization dedicated to protecting Santa, ensuring that children everywhere receive their gifts each year. On Christmas Eve, they finally arrive at the hideout of the intermediary, Ted. However, Ted is heavily guarded. Cal leaps into action, using his unique ability to shrink and enlarge his body, overwhelming the guards with ease. Once the path is clear, Cal and Jack confront Ted. Meanwhile, in a secret chamber, the mysterious girl channels Santa's stolen magic into a glowing glass orb, preparing it for her own dark purpose. Back at Ted's hideout, Cal and Jack demand to know the client's name. Ted is stunned when he realizes that Jack is the hacker he worked with. He warns them that their client is unimaginably dangerous and begs them to leave. Cal grabs Ted, forcing him to reveal more. Trembling, Ted explains that he cannot say her name aloud because she will hear it instantly. Instead, Cal orders him to write it in ashes. Ted does so, only for Jack to carelessly read the name aloud. Immediately, the air grows heavy, the sky darkens, and Ted's body begins to twist unnaturally. His eyes glow as a voice speaks through him. Cal realizes with horror that Ted has been possessed by none other than Gorilla, the ancient Christmas witch. Gorilla mocks Cal, refusing to release Santa. She declares that on Christmas Eve she will use Santa's power to eliminate every single person on the naughty list. Cal tries to reason with her, but she refuses to listen. Suddenly, a massive truck rises from the sea, releasing 3 hulking ice monsters. Cal battles one of them, slicing it in half, only to watch it reassemble. The monster seizes him, nearly killing him, until Cal rips a glowing carrot from its head, causing the beast to disintegrate. Elsewhere, Jack struggles with another monster. He manages to trick it, but during the fight he falls into a frozen pool. His leg becomes trapped under the ice as the creature looms over him. Just as the monster prepares to strike, Cal arrives and yanks the carrot from its face, destroying it instantly. Meanwhile, far away, a man named Aaron enters his car and discovers a mysterious gift inside. Opening it, he finds the magical orb created by Gorilla. The moment he touches it, he vanishes. Gorilla, watching through her spells, becomes enraged when she loses sight of him. She orders her minions to fix the malfunction, warning that if they fail, she will test her powers on them next. Back at the battlefield, Zoe arrives and learns from Cal that Gryla is behind Santa's kidnapping. She shows Cal an image of the girl from surveillance footage, but Cal shakes his head, saying that it's only an illusion. Gryla is actually 900 years old, and this is merely the youthful face she projects. Cal then tells Zoe that to find Santa, they must seek out Krampus, Santa's brother. He explains that Gryla and Krampus share a dark history, and it's possible Krampus is secretly aiding her. Santa may even be imprisoned in Krampus's castle. Zoe strongly objects, reminding Cal that Krampus is one of Santa's fiercest enemies and could destroy them both. However, there is no other choice. Cal and Jack step through the magical gate once again. At that moment, Jack receives a call from his ex-wife. She asks him why he refuses to attend Dylan's party, reminding him that his son loves him and needs him there. But Jack coldly replies that he is busy and unavailable. After the call, Jack climbs into the car with Cal to continue their journey to meet Krampus, Santa's brother. During the ride, Cal tells Jack that Dylan is an obedient and polite boy, information Cal knows because of the list of good and naughty children. Jack admits that he keeps his distance from Dylan because he feels like a failure as a father. He believes his ex-wife's new husband is a much better role model for Dylan. Cal firmly tells him he is wrong, explaining that abandoning his son only hurts him, not helps him. Eventually, they arrive at the location of Krampus's castle. Curious, Jack asks Cal about Santa and Krampus's history. Cal explains that long ago, Santa and Krampus worked together, but Krampus eventually created his own list of naughty children in order to punish them. Santa was enraged and took the list away, leading to Krampus's departure. Krampus then allied himself with Gryla, who also kept a naughty list, though their partnership eventually fell apart after constant conflict. When Cal and Jack leave the enchanted car, Cal warns Jack not to touch anything inside Krampus's domain. They approach the castle's gate, where Cal activates a magical device on his hand, granting him the power to open it. The two are instantly transported into a dark, frightening realm. Guard dogs resembling hellhounds surround the entrance. Cal distracts them by pulling a toy chicken from his pocket and transforming it into a real chicken, sending the beasts running after it. As they move toward the castle doors, Jack notices a chest filled with gold coins. Unable to resist, he sneaks one into his pocket, thinking no one saw him. Suddenly, the statues around them awaken, letting out terrifying roars as monsters emerge to surround them. Cal quickly insists they are not thieves and only wish to meet Krampus. But one of the monsters yanks the stolen coin from Jack's pocket, exposing his theft. Furious, the creature seized Cal and Jack and locked them in a dungeon cell. Inside, Cal angrily blames Jack for the trouble, reminding him that he warned him not to touch anything. Jack tries to defend himself, saying he is drowning in debt. Cal scolds him harshly, saying that being on the naughty list is no accident. Jack's own selfish choices put him there. He shares Santa's wisdom. Every decision, big or small, is an opportunity to improve. He urges Jack to start changing before it's too late. Eventually, the monsters drag them before Krampus, who is in the middle of a bizarre party, playing a brutal slapping contest with one of his followers. Krampus smacks the creature so hard it crashes into a wall. When he notices Cal and Jack, he orders them forward. Before approaching, one of the monsters confiscates Cal's magical device. Krampus listens as Cal demands to know if he is involved in Gryla's kidnapping of Santa. He denies it, saying he hasn't spoken to Gryla in years. However, he reveals that Gryla is now using a magical orb, an artifact he once gave her as a gift. The orb traps any naughty person who touches it, locking their soul inside forever. Cal thanks him for the information and tries to leave, but Krampus refuses. He declares that Cal will remain his prisoner for eternity. Surprisingly, Krampus allows Jack to leave so he can deliver the information to Cal's allies. Thinking quickly, Jack devises a plan. He tells Krampus that Cal boasted about being able to beat him in his own slapping game. Amused, Krampus agrees to a contest. If Cal wins, they will both be freed. If he loses, Cal will stay imprisoned forever. Cal nervously steps forward, knowing Krampus's strength is unmatched. He slaps Krampus, but the blow barely turns his head. When Krampus retaliates, he sends Cal crashing to the ground. Cal forces himself back up to try again. At that moment, Jack cleverly steals the magical device back from one of the monsters and straps it onto his hand. Empowered, Cal strikes again, this time knocking Krampus off his feet. Seizing the opportunity, Cal throws toy robots onto the ground and enlarges them into towering machines, using them to battle Krampus's guards. Amid the chaos, Cal and Jack escape the castle. Once outside, Cal expresses his gratitude, acknowledging that Jack's quick thinking saved them both. As they drive away, they are shocked to find a piano sitting in the middle of the road. They get out to investigate and see Jack's name engraved on the lid. When Cal lifts it open, inside lies the enchanted orb. He quickly moves Jack away from it to prevent him from being trapped inside. At that moment, Dylan calls Jack, asking him not to send him bad gifts anymore. Jack is confused by Dylan's words until Dylan shows him the enchanted orb, believing Jack had sent it to him. Jack panics and tells Dylan to drop the orb immediately, but Dylan gets trapped inside it and disappears. Fearing for his son, Jack grabs the enchanted orb on the piano and tells Cal he must go after Dylan, asking him to save them. Jack then disappears and finds himself trapped inside the orb, with his son Dylan trapped in another orb next to him. When Gryla sees them, she is thrilled that her experiment worked and declares them the first two naughty individuals to be punished this way. She orders her men to create billions of enchanted orbs. Meanwhile, Cal contacts Zoe and explains what happened. They speculate about where Santa might be imprisoned. While they are talking, Santa's wife calls Cal to check on him and find out where he is. Cal tells her he is still searching for Santa and assures her he will find him soon. After ending the call, Cal tells Zoe that the mythical world has fallen under Gryla's control and that Santa is likely being held there. He also reveals that the woman he just spoke to is not Santa's wife at all and suspects someone is impersonating her to discover their progress. Cal and Zoe decide to head to the mythical world to rescue Santa and everyone else. Back in the orb, Jack speaks to his son, admitting that he was trapped because he is a lousy father, a naughty person, and someone who has made many mistakes. Dylan asks if he was trapped because he hacked into the school's database. Jack confirms this and tells Dylan he needs to change and not repeat the same mistake. Jack adds that he himself will change for the better and try to become a good father. At that moment, the enchanted orb shatters and they're freed. They admit their mistakes to each other and promise not to repeat them. Just then, Cal and Zoe arrive. At first, Cal suspects that Jack isn't real, but after speaking to him, he realizes it truly is Jack. Jack introduces Dylan to Cal and Zoe, and Cal tells Dylan that her father has spoken many good things about her. Jack then informs them that Gryla has created billions of enchanted orbs and plans to distribute them herself to naughty children in order to get rid of them. The group quickly sets off to stop her and save Santa. As they are leaving, they hear voices from inside a locked room. When they open the door, they find Garcia and all of Santa's men imprisoned there, and they free them. At the same moment, Gryla prepares to begin her journey. But Cal and his team arrive and engage in a fierce battle with her soldiers. Gryla escapes with a sleigh, which carries both Santa and all the enchanted orbs. Cal and Jack chase after her at full speed until they manage to climb onto the sleigh, but Gryla grabs them and throws them away. Jack falls onto the reindeer and manages to hold on to the chain they are tied with. He decides to detach the reindeer from the sleigh. Once freed, the reindeer fly into the sky, leaving the sleigh to crash to the ground. Gryla loses her balance and falls off. At that moment, Cal rushes to Santa and frees him from the capsule he was trapped in. He desperately tries to revive him until Santa finally regains consciousness. Suddenly, Gryla appears again, revealing her true form, terrifying and enormous. Before she can attack, Krampus arrives and hurls fireballs at her. He stands in front of her and demands that she abandon her plan, declaring that Santa will always be his brother, no matter what problems lie between them. Gryla roars and strikes Krampus forcefully. At that moment, Santa gathers his strength and calls for the reindeer, who return swiftly. They charge at Gryla, knocking her into the pile of enchanted orbs. The magic turns against her, trapping her inside one of the orbs forever. Afterward, Santa thanks Krampus for his help. He urges him to move quickly to deliver the Christmas gifts. Santa puts on his red suit and begins preparing for his journey. He thanks Jack and Dylan for their help and invites them to join him. Together, they ride the sleigh as Santa travels around the globe, delivering gifts to children everywhere. Jack and Dylan watch in awe. When morning comes, Santa has completed his mission successfully. At that moment, Cal tells Santa that he has withdrawn his resignation and will continue working alongside him. Santa asks if he will bring someone to help him. Cal looks at Jack, who is overjoyed with everything that has happened, and says he agrees to be his assistant. Finally, they all stand beside Santa as he sets off with the sleigh, returning to the mythical world. The movie ends.